Hey guys, Jake here. Welcome to another episode of the Alpine career mode for my favourite track on pretty much every single F1 game I've played. Austria! So for this race, as you can see, the sprint's going to be dry and the race is going to be wet. And I came up with a plan that, for sprint races, we'd be doing 25% races. For every other race, 50% races and full quali. And for this one, short quali and then 50%. But yeah, I feel like when it comes to Austria though, and Brazil, I feel like all the sprint tracks I should just have on 50% anyway, because they are quite enjoyable tracks, nonetheless, So yeah, it's going to be raining the whole race, and in the sprint it's going to be dry the whole race. However, if I'd have gone 50%, it would have been wet towards the end of the sprint and dry towards the end of the race. So maybe it would have been better for content. However, this race, as you will see, is very good for content. So into qualifying, first lap of 6th flat. Puts us fastest for now. But we drop down to third. Leclerc setting a 5.5. And we are currently up by 2.5 tenths. And as we come out here, we're going to be 3.5 tenths up on our previous lap, which is going to put us on a 5.64, which is a tenth off Leclerc, who improves by a tenth on his final lap. And here we come round the final corner, going a bit wide, gaining 4 tenths, which drops down to 3.5 tenths. And we are on pole position by like a tenth and a half. And we did lose like half a tenth coming out the final corner as well. So there's plenty of lap time in that lap. Maybe the AI was a bit low, I don't know, but it is what it is. But yeah, Alonso gets P7, he was 7 tenths off us. So Noda has a 5-place penalty. But yeah, for the final practice session, we end up getting 600 R&D points to Fernando's 466. So a very decent haul for the team. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the grid.
On pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Sainz, George Russell, and Norris. Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, and Pierre Gasly. Hamilton, Albon, Mick Schumacher, and Magnussen. Bottas, Joe, Lance Stroll, and Sergio Perez. Latifi and Sebastian Vettel starts from the back of the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
So yeah, we're just going to do softs for the whole thing. And that's going to be that. We're just going to lower the fuel to 7 laps. And we're going to just hope that that is enough for the race. So yeah, let's line up on the grid. Is it going to be a purple optimal? We come up very slow. It is going to be optimal. And yeah. So it's only 6 laps. So I won't worry too much. So here we go, boys. Lights out. Oh wait, 5 red lights. The Austrian Grand Prix. And it is lights out. And away we go. Into turn 1 we go now. We get a worse start. No, a worse start than Max. However, Leclerc gets a brilliant start, but he just goes straight into the back of us. Max tries to send it down the inside. We cut him off. Not illegally. And then he gets a bad one. But I don't know. I stumbled over my words and the car stumbled. So, yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, we've still got the lead for now. And I'm about to speed it up. And I'm going to show you, like, the first half of this race. Because I just want to show you how in control I was of this sprint race. So as you'll see, we're speeding up now. I mean, the gap to Max, it goes up, obviously. And obviously first lap, the AI are using a lot of VRS, so they are going to stay with me. And as you will see, Max has a little look down the inside here, but not too much of a look. We cut it off. But from this point onwards, the gap between us and Max stays from 7 tenths to 1.5 seconds, or 1.25 seconds. So I was running very similar pace to Max Verstappen in this sprint. So, I mean, we couldn't have been doing too bad, right? Because obviously Max was getting better traction off the corners. I was just quicker in the corners and a bit slower on the straights. But it wasn't too much of a difference, as you'll see. Like, in the corners we were quicker than Max, but on the straights he was faster, and his traction out of corners and his ability to get the power on earlier than me was a lot better. So, yeah, so we're going to go back to full normal speed mode now. Get a warning for corner cutting. And yeah, Max is currently around 8 attempts behind me. Obviously, we're not using ERS yet. We're just waiting for Max to attack us. So, and we've had a mistake. And what are we doing? And Max is taking the lead. Basically what happened there is I had a little upsie, but instead of just letting off the power, I put the power back down anyway to try correct myself, but that just made it worse. But I had to stop myself from spinning, and that's allowed Max to pull a second on me already. And as you can see now, we're driving with a bit of road rage, as Max is now ahead of us due to a mistake from myself. And yeah, he's just gone. I don't think we're going to catch him now. And we won't, because on lap 6, Max has pulled 2.5 seconds on us. And the cars behind us have gained by like half a second. So like we had similar pace to Sainz, Russell, Leclerc, but I think they were fighting each other, so I can't really say too much really. But yeah, that's going to be the end of the sprint, boys. P2, not the best result. Obviously, I am like, a pit. I just can't really be bothered right now. I mean, I'm quite annoyed because I forgot to upload a video I edited 3 days ago, which is the Baku, Canada, Britain 3-1. I forgot to upload that 3 days ago, so now there's no point me doing France because I'm literally editing this the day before I go away, and I'm just gonna stream today. I'm just gonna stream me building a storage system in Minecraft. What a guy. But yeah, here we are for the race now. Here's the grid lineup. Pause it if you want to see. But yeah, you pretty much know the top 5. That's all that's going to be relevant. So yeah, without further ado, let's get down to the grid lineup. Can we make it optimal 0.6? Yes, we do. We make it optimal, and we've got our car facing towards Max Verstappen. Now, waiting for the grid to finish lining up now. Oh yeah, we did go ahead a bit. But yeah, this is full wet conditions, boys. Like, this is full-on wet conditions as well. So you gotta remember that it might be a bit poor for me to start off with in terms of my pace. So here we go, boys. Okay, come on, grid lineup. Come on. 5 red lights for the wet Austrian Grand Prix. Who's going to win it? It is lights out and away we go. We get a worse start than all the cars around us because it is the wet conditions. I've got traction on full for the wet conditions, boys. So yeah, we get overtaken by Sainz properly, and then the 2 cars around us go for dive bombs. We get hit on the inside, which causes us to drift a little bit. We stay ahead of both of them. And now Sainz and Max Verstappen having a titanic battle for the lead, which continues on through till lap 2, well, the end of lap 1, where Sainz has got a poor run here. So are we going to have a look at him? We're going to use ERS as we come down the straight. Max Verstappen is in the lead. Are we going to go for a move? Oh, no, we're not. Oh, yes, we are, because I missed my brake zone and I have to overtake Sainz to avoid contact. So we get away with that one. But on to lap 6 now. There is a safety car. So what was happening was basically I was like a second ahead of Leclerc and Sainz, and I was like a few seconds off the back of Max. So yeah, because I was battling a little bit with Leclerc and stuff like that, and they were battling with each other, but Max was pulling away. But yeah, with this safety car, Jeff kept telling me, I'm not even joking, I'm not exaggerating or anything. Jeff was saying to me, right, looks like Inter's best conditions on track now, time for Inter's. He didn't tell me to come in for Inter's, but he said they'd have superior pace. So I decided, you know what, we're going to box for Inters, and then once we bunch back up, we're going to have good pace, and we're going to be able to try get back into the fight for the lead, and we're going to be on faster tyres as well, so we should easily be able to get the lead back with the pack being bunched up. But as you will see coming out of the pit, I have my first glitch of the year, because it says catch safety car Q, but no one's going at normal pace, and it's the Delta glitch. It's the safety car Delta glitch, the one that is very popular this year. It just happens every now and then. So basically, the AI have an imaginary Delta that doesn't exist, so they keep slowing down, even though we need to catch the safety car. And by the time the safety car is coming in, look how far ahead the leaders are. So basically, the best position I can only really get P4 in this race, I think, and that is from Russell, and then it's my teammate and Hamilton behind him. So I need to overtake all 3 of them cars to try and get close to the leaders again. So here we go, we are green, we get a poor run out the final corner, and it looks like Norris and Schumacher might have a battle here. But I'm just going to leave this in because I'm going to show you how bad the conditions were for Inters to start off with, boys. Like, for a solid lap and a half, 2 laps, it was still wet conditions. And Jeff was telling me through the whole safety car period, through pretty much before the safety car period, the Inters were going to be better. And they really weren't. Like, they really weren't. I mean, you could see we gained time there, but that's mainly because Norris was behind Schumacher and had to slow down. But, like, we really didn't have much pace on these Inters. So, I'm just so confused. And this is the big turning point of the race, because in a couple laps, what you're going to see is that we get a virtual safety car, right as I'm on the back of Norris 2 laps later. But basically, if I'd have pitted under this virtual safety car, I would have been still ahead of the Ferraris, but I would have lost a lot of time to Max, and I would still probably have been able to just overtake the 2 Ferraris. But, like, then you could just say, well, you still wouldn't have got Max Verstappen, so, like, what's the point in pitting? So, yeah, that's true. So, if the safety car hadn't glitched, I would have been, like, P17, but I would have been on fresh inters, overtaking loads of cars. But now we're here with a virtual safety car, which is just going to halt my progress. This is literally just going to slow me up for a whole lap. And I mean, this lap of progress we could have been making. I mean, you gain no car time on the cars around you. You don't lose anything to the cars around you. You just stay the same. And if I'd have had this extra lap, I would have been able to get the 2 Mercs and Alonso. Because as you'll see by the end of the race, you know, obviously we're making loads of moves now. We've got the superior tyres on now by lap 12. So we have 6 laps on superior, 1 second a lap faster plus tyres. But it's not going to be enough to get to the lead. It just really isn't, because we've got to make overtakes. We've got no clean air, because we have like maybe 3 seconds of clean air every now and then. And then it's another car, 2 cars that we've got to try and make our way through. And, you know, that virtual safety car held us up. The safety car not working properly. Like, yes, it stopped us from losing, I think it was like 2 positions. But, like, those positions would have been easy to get back with the grid being punched up. Because I went in a dive bomb into turn 1, dive bomb into turn 3. Kept the cars behind whilst my tyres warm up. Then bang, we're in like P12 with like 7 laps to go, and like Max is only 10 seconds up the road. So it'd just been bang, 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 bang. We probably could have won this race. On the Inters, we had the pace to win this race, but obviously Tsunoda comes back as with a better run because the AI is so overpowered on the traction zones in the wet. But we just have better braking. We can just turn it a lot better on the superior tyres. But I don't know what happened to the Albon overtake. He just got overtaken somewhere. And yeah, so we're now on the back of Magnussen. Now with the points, with the fastest lap, with only 3 laps to go. It's not going to be possible for us to win this race. I highly doubt it'll even be possible for us to get third or second, or to get third now, because obviously Sainz retired from third in the Grand Prix, so now it's Russell that's third. So yeah, and as you're going to see here, we're closing in on Magnussen. We set at 1:14.7 as the fastest lap. We make a dive down the inside of Magnussen, a very nice move, and we got ourselves up into P9. Then moving on to lap 17 now. We are 1.5 seconds behind Gasly into this final sector. And obviously we run wide there. But as we come out of this final corner, we are like 5 tenths behind Gasly. And he gets a little bit of a step out on the back end. So he's got a poor run. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pull out late. And we're going to go down the inside of Pierre Gasly to get ourselves up into P8. And now we've got Checo, Ricciardo, Hamilton, Alonso, and Russell. But we only have 1 lap left. So we're in the final lap, boys. We just send it down the inside of Paris. Screw the damage. Screw everything. We need the positions. This race, we were P1 in the sprint, but due to a mistake, we ended up P2. In the race, we were P2, but due to a glitch safety car and a random VSC, we ended up what's probably going to be P6, unless we can get Lewis Hamilton here, because we're going to get Ricciardo, no matter what, because we are just going to send it down the inside of our championship rival, Jam Pancakes. TRL Limitless reference there, for those F1 YouTube watchers. But yeah, we are now 1.5 seconds behind Lewis. We lose 4 tenths making that overtake. If we hadn't lost those 4 tenths, boys, as you're going to see, we would have got 5th, maybe even had a chance at 4th. Because if we hadn't lost those 4 tenths, we would have been able to get Hamilton right near here. So he probably would have been able to like go up his inside at this point right now. And then we would have been able to send it down the inside of maybe even Alonso, because of how close Alonso was. However, as you're going to see, I had to do a skip there. And as you're going to see, we should have sent it here for P5. But we don't. We end up pushing Hamilton through. We got no deploy left. And he just gets the better exit. And we have to settle for P6. So unfortunately, it's only P6 in this race. But we get driver of the day because we make like 15 overtakes. Not in the race. I think we made like 15 overtakes overall this weekend. We didn't make any in the sprint, but we made a couple in the race in the wetter conditions, and we made loads on the inters. So Max wins from Leclerc, from Russell, and it's just a shame, really. It is just really annoying that, you know, we didn't have a chance. And I was thinking initially after the race that I should have pit under the VSC, but I would have probably been under attack from the Ferraris. I would have lost a similar amount of time, probably due to the battling. I would have been nowhere near Max, so the only way I had a chance of winning the race is I was on the right strategy, but the safety car glitch cost me the race, which is unfortunate. So yeah, that's going to be it for the day's race. We look at the championship, we're 98 points off it. I mean, we're technically still not out of it. I think there's still like 6 rounds to go. So if we were to beat Max in every single round and he would have a couple DNFs, maybe we could win the championship. But no, it looks highly unlikely. But we're still, I feel like Alpine, we are pretty much guaranteed in for P4 now in the constructors. We're still kind of in a battle with Mercedes, but Mercedes are just so clear of us. We're like 100 points ahead of McLaren and 50 behind Mercedes. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Should I move next season? It's up to you.